I am a blind comedian. Brace yourself for dark humour. That's not a quip about me being blind, by the way. That's a reference to the fact that I'm about to do 10 minutes of tasteless paedophile jokes. Well, in my defence, he felt old enough. No. Don't, fear not. It's not going to be that kind of comedy. I am going to be talking about blindness today because when you start out in comedy, they tell you to talk about what you know, talk about what you got direct experience of. So I thought, well, I either talk about what it's like not being able to see or what it's like living as a black man. But I think that being blind actually is pretty good for comedy because when you're blind, all sorts of weird things just happen to you on a daily basis. Sorry, I suddenly raised the sound like I'm advertising it to you as a lifestyle choice, don't I? Are there any struggling comedians out there tonight or aspiring after dinner speakers, need some anecdotes, shorter material? Why not try blindness? It's brilliant. Join the club. Pass me the knife. Well, maybe don't pass me the knife. I'd probably miss. End up lobbing off an ear, and there's absolutely nothing funny about deafness. Nowhere near as commercially viable as blindness. But when you're blind, the ordinary, everyday things that you would just take for granted, they're just turned into these crazy dramas. And I'm just talking about the simple, humdrum, everyday, mundane stuff here, like every single time I get to the car and drive. Although, in fairness, the drink doesn't help. But I was in Australia last year, and what I find is in Britain, if someone wants to ask you about your blindness, they'll do it with a degree of sensitivity. But in Australia, they've got more of a brash, confident, upfront approach to life. So I was in this pub in Australia, and this man, never met him before, just sidles up to me, and his opening gambit is, "What the fuck's wrong with you, mate? Are you on drugs?" Which I thought was an interesting chat-up line, but... I don't know, maybe that is a famous Australian pick-up line. I've not read the famous Australian rule books on flirting, the didgeridoos and don'ts of antipodean and seduction, 101 ways to get down under, how to have fun in the bush. So I said to him, I said, are you referring to my eyes? Because sometimes my eyes will move around in their sockets, searching for the light, praise the Lord. I said, are you referring to my eyes? And I thought, he's going to cotton on to the fact now that I'm blind, you know, and he's going to adjust his brashness accordingly. But there was no chance of any of that. He just goes, "Yeah, I'm fucking referring to your eyes, mate. They're wobbling around up and down, side to side. What the fuck's going on, mate? You want drugs?" I thought, well, here's the thing, you know, he's Australian, and therefore, naturally, you know, he's brash and confident. Me, being British, naturally, I feel awkward for him on his behalf. Although someone's got to be awkward in this situation, it's clearly not going to be him. I'll take one for the team. So I said, well, what it is, my friend, is I'm blind. And I said it as politely and as sensitively as possible because I didn't want him to feel upset. And I waited. I waited for the tears to well up in his eyes, maybe for him to pull me into an embrace when he realises that his brash, confident Australian ways have just gotten him into trouble with his poor, British, blind, sensitive soul. But there's no chance of any of that. He just goes, "Ah, well, that's a fucking shame, mate, because I was looking for some drugs. See you later."